Our guests today are Frank Holmes and Samuel Pelaez. Gentlemen, talk to us about the latest trends in the tech industry.
We run the first, and I believe it's still the only dedicated blockchain technology fund in Canada. We invest in private and public equities of companies that have a technology product or service that's disruptive in some shape or form. Our first investment was Hive Blockchain Technologies. We've yielded phenomenal success out of that.
It went up over tenfold, didn't it?
Yes. It's been an incredible ride, and it's very exciting to be so early on into these opportunities. What I see coming next, and I don't want to mention any specific names, but I'll just like themes, is okay. We seem to be moving closer to like very big business adoption of these technologies, because this is where some of these technologies actually make very disruptive changes. Think about a company the size of Oracle, a company the size of McDonald's, multi-billion-dollar companies that can replace a very high-cost structure in their business model with a couple of lines of code. And then that is sustained and maintained by miners, is sustained by the crypto community in one way or another. They sort of have access to a pool of talent distributed and decentralized all over the world that could lower that cost. Not necessarily by employing less people or anything like that. It's just a more effective and efficient way of going around business. And one of the most exciting things we've seen recently is the gaming industry. People don't realize that the gaming industry is larger than Hollywood. Is larger than the music industry as a whole.
So my son knows this. I'm sorry.
So you combine the movie industry and the music industry,
yes,
and mobile gaming is bigger.
And like think about one of the key catalysts for that growth was Apple. Apple created the smartphone. We have all these applications on our smartphone, and now you can buy services with tapping your finger, right? Your thumb.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. And so that unleashed a whole new way of how the gaming industry thought about it, because if you remember, and I remember because I did it myself, I would beg my parents to take me to, what's the name, Game Shop or one of those stores?
Yeah.
And you would pay, I don't know, $39.99 for a game, and then you would play that for the next 2 or 3 months. Yeah. So it was a one-time sale.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's pay as you go, pay to upgrade, pay to be online, like all these
ancillary
services.
And the average kid spends $550.
$550?
Yes, $10 a week.
If I say the word Fortnite to you, you know what, the kids are into
2
that,
weeks.
and that's another, free game, but you have to keep updating and you have to keep buying, and my son says, I need more characters, it's buy, and I guess that's exactly what the companies are looking for. Yeah?
But yeah, absolutely. So that gives you a sense of the size of the industry.
Wow.
What the new technology, and specifically blockchain, is allowing them to do is create these major ecosystems that break down barriers, because now your son may be able to trade his character with people or somebody around the world, or one of the most interesting things is you work on your character and it grows and evolves, and then you can trade it, and you can trade it for new games, or you can trade it for different tokens, not only the token that you've been using in the game, but tokens of other games. So this whole ecosystem, the walls are coming down, and when you realize how big the market is, then you can see the value of this technology to unleash further growth and acceleration.
Gentlemen, this is fascinating.
And the big things would be these data centers. So something I learned from Hive Blockchain, the significance of green energy, like Iceland, inexpensive electricity, but it has to be green, and Sweden and Norway, is the film industry. So I'm on the board of Thunderbird Films, and we do a lot of animation. Atomic is huge business for us, a big component. But they need those GPU cards just like we need them for validating a transaction in Ethereum, and you need it for games. So that GPU card is basically a big driver for computer graphics, but they also need the cloud. They need cheap electricity and access to it. So these data centers are going to become even more significant with artificial intelligence and the growth that's taking place there. So I think that there's, in the junior space in Canada, the next big wave outside of the cannabis industry is going to be artificial intelligence.
Very, very fascinating stuff. We're joined today by Frank Holmes. He's the CEO of U.S. Global Investors, and also by Samuel Pelaez from Galileo Equity Advisors. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.